Venezuela allegedly foils an American attack, and it starts raining doctors in Russia. My name is Jacob Borgerding, and this is a Political Borg. Alright, so Venezuela's head of state, Nicolas Maduro, claims that on May 3rd there was a attempted marine incursion into Venezuela by terrorist mercenaries. He claims that the attack was intercepted in the country's capital of Caracas. He also states that 8 were killed in the attack. The alleged attack was carried out by a group of 62 individuals, 2 of which were ex-American Green Berets. Maduro identified the 2 as Aaron Berry and Luke Denman. State television also showed images of captured weapons, Peruvian documents, and uniforms which had been embellished with the American flag, all which had been recovered from the incident. Venezuela claims that the attack, which was allegedly launched from the Colombian coast, was launched with the intention of assassinating multiple high-level political figures in Venezuela, including Maduro. The president of the opposition government, Juan Guaido, who is recognized by over 50 countries, claims that the government is trying to distract from a lot of violent activity that's been going on in Venezuela recently, citing a prison riot on Friday and a gang battle that happened in Caracas recently. He said, quote, "The regime is seeking to divert attention with a supposed incident plagued with inconsistencies, doubts, and contradictions," he said in a statement. He also denied any linkage to the attack. Well, an American private defense company named Silvercore USA has claimed to be behind the attack. The CEO of the company, Jordan Goudreau, admitted to orchestrating the attack. And when he was asked why he would launch the attack in Venezuela's probably most guarded coastline, he cited Alexander the Great. Venezuela and the U.S. broke diplomatic relations last year, so it's going to be relatively difficult for the United States to try and leverage getting these guys back if they decide that that's a goal of theirs. Mike Vigil, who was the former head of international operations for the Drug Enforcement Agency, and was also involved when the United States indicted Maduro for narco-terrorism charges, had this to say about the incident. Quote, "It shocks me how insane they were. They walked right into a coiled rattlesnake without even having minimally studied the capacity of the Venezuelan armed forces. There's no way the United States government would have supported an operation like this." Another person came forward who was a former special ops veteran who claims that the individuals who carried out this attack most likely did not have experience with this kind of operation, citing the fact that they decided to keep identifying information on them, which those pictures have been circulating around social media in the past few days. President Donald Trump said Tuesday that the arrest in Venezuela of 2 ex-Green Berets had nothing to do with the United States government. Goudreau, who labeled the attack Operation Gideon, claimed that the goal was to launch a cross-border operation with the intent of arresting Maduro. In an interview with Miami journalist Patricia Palaio, Goudreau provided an 8-page contract, which he alleges is signed by opposition government leader Juan Guaido. The contract agrees to pay Silvercore USA $213 million in exchange for, quote, general services. In the interview, he also displayed a 4-minute video that was taken during the signing of the contract, in which he claims you can hear Guaido speaking. This is going to be some very, very interesting news coming up in the coming weeks as we learn more about this and as we see the United States response in trying to get these individuals back if they decide to. As I understand it, Goudreau is now under investigation for orchestrating the attack, and I'll bet that his company is most likely not going to survive this incident. I can't believe that an American private company just decided to invade Venezuela and arrest the president. It's it's like something out of a movie. It's not something that you would think would really happen. But like I said, in the coming days and weeks, we'll probably get more information concerning this. But as of right now, that's all that I have. In Russia, 3 frontline health workers have fallen out of windows in the last 2 weeks. Right? Alexander Shulapov, who was an ambulance driver in Voronezh, is the only one still alive after being one of the 3 to fall. He fell out of a second-floor window of the hospital that he worked at, and that he was then being treated for COVID. He was hospitalized for the virus on the same day that he and a colleague of his posted a video online. The colleague was named Alexander Kosyakin. They posted a video stating that they were being forced to work in the hospital despite having already tested positive for the virus. Kosyakin went and confirmed this in an interview with CNN, where he said this, quote, "Shulapov is in an intensive care unit, as far as I know, in a serious condition. Last time I spoke with him was on the 30th of April, where we checked in on each other. He felt fine, and he was getting ready to get discharged from the hospital when all of a sudden this happened. It's not clear why and what for. So many questions that I don't have the answer to." It sounds like he got fell. Not that he fell, that he got fell. Anyway, the other 2 workers that got fell, Elena Nepomnyashkaya and Natalia Lebedeva, were both in relatively high positions in their field. Elena was the head doctor in a hospital in the city of Krasnoyarsk, and local news reported that she allegedly fell out of a window during a meeting with regional health officials, where they were discussing changing the facility into a COVID care facility. Now, it's alleged that Elena was against this. She opposed this, citing a lack of protective equipment in the hospital, personal protective equipment for the doctors and the nurses in the hospital. Most likely just before getting thrown out of a window. The second person to have jumped, their name was Natalia Lebedeva, and she was the head of emergency medical service at Star City, who is which is where they train Russian cosmonauts. They state that they died in the hospital following a fall. Now, all 3 of these individuals were reportedly treated for COVID-19 at the locations which they fell, and died of a, quote, tragic accident, according to local media and health officials. Definitely tragic. I wouldn't say it's an accident. The fact that these individuals were coming out against their local health officials or the local state or the local governments seems pretty damning in this case. It seems pretty obvious what happened here. But Russia won't be held accountable, as always. They politically silence people, as does China, and that's just what these countries do. It's terrible, and it shouldn't be done, but it's practices that they repeatedly do. Now, in the coming weeks, I hope that I'm not reporting on more doctors reigning in Russia, but we'll see. But as for today, that's going to be all. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Please like and share, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.